Coming up, Flagstaff's annual Eagle celebration happened over the weekend, giving people a chance to learn more about these symbolic birds. Plus, a group on the NAU campus is bringing awareness to chicken living conditions. And later, we'll have the details on how the recent wet weather is affecting the Northland. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm Connor Sweetman.
And I'm Raina Steffen. Thanks for tuning in. It's no secret that many people live here in the Northland because of the natural beauty of the landscape and the close proximity to wildlife. But the natural wonders around us must be respected if they are to be protected. That was one of the main lessons at this year's annual Eagle celebration.
This year's event was held at the Arizona Game and Fish offices and co-sponsored by the Willow Bend Education Center. Joy Wright was there and has more on the story.
Many people don't know that golden eagles and bald eagles call Arizona home. The annual Eagle celebration aims to increase awareness of these majestic birds who sometimes go unnoticed soaring through our Arizona skies. The event has bird watching, presentations, and of course, live eagles. Liberty Wildlife, a nonprofit organization that rehabilitates animals, offered participants the opportunity to get an up-close look at these beautiful birds.
Our bald eagles released back to the wild after being in our rehabilitation facility. I think our last one we released was our 103rd into the skies of Arizona. And in our education program, we have I think 5 or 6 bald eagles that are with us permanently because they're not releasable to the wild.
Whether you're old or young, simply knowing eagles are around is the first step to living in harmony with them.
A lot of people don't really know that we have a small population of eagles that breed and are regularly found in Arizona. So we just like to highlight that, and then we also just want to try to influence their success as a species here.
We don't take care of things that we don't know about. We can't care about things that we don't know about. And so just a little bit of education sometimes goes a really long ways towards developing good conservation in especially children.
But after awareness, what comes next? These organizations say a few ways to help eagles thrive include picking up litter, not messing with their nests even if they're empty, and especially staying away from their young.
This is exactly what our mission is about, is furthering the nurturing of wildlife in Arizona, and this kind of day is just a great event for everyone.
Because if these animals can't live safely with us on land, we won't be able to see them in our skies. Joey Wright, NAZ Today.
Bald eagles were removed from the endangered species list in 2007, and according to Arizona Game and Fish data, a record 87 bald eagle chicks were hatched last year in the state.
If you've lived in Flagstaff for any period of time, you know it's been a wet winter when Lake Mary flows over the dam. And it's no surprise after record snowstorms that this winter, Lake Mary has reached its capacity already this year. The lake is one of the main water sources for the city of Flagstaff, and when full, holds enough water to meet the city's water needs for 3 years. It's not something that happens every year, so when it does, it brings locals out to see the rare sight.
Especially like this past couple years, we've had a lot of kind of like drought, and so the lake's been pretty low, and so with all the snow coming in, it's definitely a change in seeing how high the water is.
City officials tell us that how fast the lake filled this year is particularly impressive, since the lake was as low as 20% full in early February.
Flagstaff police say they've made an arrest in a stabbing case. 18-year-old DJ Castillo was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon after being identified as a suspect in the stabbing case over the weekend. Castillo is now being held at the Coconino County Detention Facility. Well, switching gears now, Coconino County Parks and Recreation is now accepting reservations for special events at Frontier at Rogers Lake. Last summer, the County Board of Supervisors approved a plan to operate the 20-acre property for the events. It will open for business in May, and for more information, you can visit their website at frontier@rogerslake.com. The rental season is May 1st through September 30th, with additional dates by request.
Just because Forest Service roads look like you can drive on them doesn't mean you should. And U.S. Forest Service officials say they're seeing an influx of drivers going around road closure signs as the snow disappears. Officials with the Coconino National Forest say the roads in the forest are extremely soft and muddy, and driving on them can create deep ruts that damage the roads, make driving more difficult when they dry out. This can cause the forest to remain closed longer than necessary to allow time for crews to fix damaged roads by smoothing them out. But even if roads are open, officials say you should always avoid driving on muddy gravel roads.
This forest is got a delicate ecosystem, and so if you're out there and you happen to go off the road and it's soft, or if you're on the road and you notice that it's soft, please back up, take your time. Area.
If you were caught driving on closed forest roads, you may have to appear in federal court and pay a hefty fine.
Well, another week has begun, and that means we have another Art Matters story. NAZ Today reporter Aiden Casey is in the studio and to share his experience as he explored the world of paint by instruction. Aiden?
Well, normally I only report on art that I find around in the area, but this weekend I actually got involved with my own making of the art. I went down to locally owned business Creative Spirits, and like many paint by instruction art studios, but what makes different is the charity work that they do. I spoke with participants during their most recent class. Painting isn't just about famous names like Picasso and Monet. Art is something that anyone can participate in and contribute to. At Creative Spirits in Flagstaff, painting is about the artists and their own personal expressions.
So Creative Spirits is a kind of paint and sip sort of location. It's a place where you can come, have a drink, paint a masterpiece of your own, and have fun while doing it.
The most recent class focused on the Impressionist style of Vincent van Gogh, but it isn't necessary to be a master to recreate this unique and beautiful art form. Whether an attendee has painted before or a first-timer, Creative Spirits is designed around helping anyone learn to express themselves.
I enjoy coming and then trying to make something a little bit additional out of the paintings. So just getting back into painting again, and also a social atmosphere, so meeting other people.
A creative and social environment is not the only benefit the studio provides the community. They also host a night each week for nonprofits and charities.
So we invite any nonprofit to contact us, and then the way it works is they get every Monday in the month, so every Monday night down at Blends. And so in theory, we can have up to 25 people there. So in theory, they could make, over $1,000 if, I mean, that's kind of a nice partnership. So we have the nonprofit, we have that business, we have our business, and we all kind of work to promote the event.
Every Monday, $10 of each registration goes to the chosen nonprofit. This month, they are helping to support Women's Way Red Lodge, a group that works together to build cooperative, sustainable ways to live in harmony. Aiden Casey, NAZ Today.
There was a new experience for students on NAU's campus today. Brave the Cage put college students in a modified chicken coop with the hope that developing some empathy for the animals might make people look at the egg production business in a different light.
So we're putting people in the cage to experience how little space these chickens get on these egg farms, and so they can have compassion for these chickens themselves.
The event is part of a larger campaign by Animal Place, a nonprofit farm animal sanctuary. According to the organization, about 84% of egg production hens in the industry are subjected to poor living conditions. For more information and some helpful tips, you can visit bravethecage.org.
Coming up, one fight down, another to go in Washington as Trump unveils a new budget proposal. Stay with us.
Good evening, Brooke. I'm student forecaster. So for the past couple hours, it's been raining, and we're looking at a lot more rain coming up, even some snow. An active weather forecast coming up with Lee.
It's the 26th anniversary of the Flagstaff Home and Garden Show at the NAU Fieldhouse, March 29th through the 31st with free admission. See what's new in home improvement with the best prices all under one roof. See hundreds of displays, win a new Subaru Forester, and more. Get free antiques appraisals, tour a tiny home, and see new watercraft toys. Ride the free shuttle from the Sky Dome to win the vacation and participate in the cash grab. Don't miss the original Big Home Show.
Cash in the dash at Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. Every new Chevrolet will have an envelope in the dash with a card inside, letting you know how much cash you'll receive when you purchase your new Chevrolet. $1,000, $2,000, up to $6,500 in extra cash when you purchase your new Chevrolet. Cash in the Dash.
Hi, I'm Mark Harris, owner of Terry Marks and Chevrolet Cadillac. I guarantee to beat anybody's price or you'll receive $500. Terry Marks and Chevrolet Cadillac. No pressure, no hype.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore. So you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Back now, the Trump administration released its 2020 budget today, and the $4.75 trillion budget is the priciest in federal history. The big hiccup for the president's agenda, though, the $8.6 billion he wants for additional border security. CNN's John Lornick has the details.
President Trump calls it a budget for a better America. Promises kept, taxpayers first. The president's plan promises a balanced budget in 15 years and calls for nearly $3 trillion in spending cuts. And then there's the elephant in the room.
The whole issue of the wall and border security is of paramount importance. We have a crisis down there.
A White House official says President Trump is requesting $8.6 billion for the border wall.
Democrats control the House. They have enough votes in the Senate to try to stop stuff from going through.
House Majority Leader Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer released a statement Sunday blasting President Trump's expensive and ineffective wall and saying Congress would not back the request.
Doubling down is doubly dangerous. As Pelosi and Schumer pointed out, this could lead to another intractable set of negotiations that maybe shut the government again.
Supporters say it's a risk the president is willing to take.
We have to be much tougher and have more constructive immigration policy, which we will be developing over a period of time. So yes, he's going to stay with his wall and he's going to stay with the border security theme. I think it's essential.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The budget likely won't change any spending habits, as that is all controlled by Congress. Democrats in the House and the Senate called the bill dead on arrival, and previous budgets proposed by the presidents largely failed even when Republicans controlled both chambers of Congress.
King me. This must be how Odell Beckham feels when he scores a game-winning touchdown.
Beckham scores! Giants touchdown!
This must be how Rico felt when he triple jumped Mr. Sanchez.
Pepsi.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Is your family in need of more quality time together?
Hello, I'm Dr. Spruce. Nature is best enjoyed together. So bring the whole family to discover all the bonding and stress-reducing benefits parks and forests have to offer. Visit discovertheforest.org and trade in phone time for family time.
Birds, squirrels, chipmunks, grass, worms, bugs, trees, rocks, and other objects in nature cannot talk. If you'd like to have a conversation while visiting nature, you will need to bring humans along. We strongly recommend starting with your family.
Tonight's NAZ Today weather is brought to you in part by Terry Marks and Chevrolet Cadillac in Flagstaff.
All right, storms just keep on keeping on in what has been a remarkable winter and 2019. Our next storm system winding up just off the Southern California coast. Here we are in Arizona, pumping tropical moisture in out of the south, hence the relatively warm nature of this storm system. Snow levels today up above 7,500 feet, where they will remain here for roughly the next 24 hours as this whole thing slowly tracks across Arizona. Okay, for us today, our high temperature 47 degrees. We saw increasing clouds throughout the day today. Right now, 0.05 of an inch of rain here in Flagstaff. Now since January 1, we're at 10 inches of moisture, nearly double the average and almost half of our entire yearly precipitation average, which is near 21 inches. Let's hope things just keep on going in a positive way for us. Here's a look at the radar right now. Flagstaff, notice very active all across state. Rain out west of Flagstaff, rain across Yavapai County, rain across Gila County, rain out moving into Navajo and Apache counties. We're going to continue with this here through the night, right? So far we're seeing rain totals just around 1/10 of an inch, but they're going to really start creeping up around an inch here by the time this whole half week of active weather is said and done. All right, we're switching it back over to a very similar satellite image, same angle. Here's our main area of low pressure, pumping the moisture into Arizona. This whole low pressure kind of slowly tracks across south central Arizona over the next 24 hours. Snow levels are going to remain 7,500 feet or above through the night. Sometimes, just at moments, randomly snow mixing in with rain around Flagstaff and 7,000 feet. Temperatures overnight tonight right around 32 degrees. Not expecting any snow accumulation out there tonight, but you may see some flakes mixing in with the rain out there. All right, this is a live shot up at Snowbowl just moments ago. Notice no snow accumulating on the deck, but if you look closely, it is snowing up here at 9,500 feet at the Agassiz live cam, and the upper elevations really looking for some significant snow totals out of the storm. 37 degrees outside right now at Flagstaff Pulliam Airport. Light rain and calm. Up at Snowbowl, it is beginning to snow at 9,500 feet. Okay, so how's this whole half a week going to play out, because we have another storm right behind this one. Okay, so this storm, notice it bringing in the subtropical moisture into Arizona up the Baja Peninsula. This thing kind of tracks through, as I mentioned, southern Arizona tomorrow. We continue with rain showers and high snow levels. Right behind it, this storm system you see up in the Pacific Northwest, as this one starts to exit tomorrow evening and afternoon, this one sweeps in right behind it with a powerful cold front, plenty of moisture in place, and rain turns to snow down to around 5,500 feet as we get into tomorrow evening, and snow showers into the day Wednesday. Generally 2 to 6 inches of snow down to 5,500 feet come Tuesday night, Wednesday. Okay, so for us overnight tonight, mainly rain, a little snow mixing in there, 32 degrees, our overnight low temperature. Have a hard time sticking if there is any periods of snow showers. Tomorrow, it's mainly rain showers turning to PM snow. I would say right around this time tomorrow, we see rain turning over to snow here in Flagstaff. 51 tomorrow with rain showers. In Sedona, 48 rain showers. Prescott, 47 Payson rain showers. 51 Winslow, rain showers. Okay, here's a look at the extended forecast for us here. We're busy with the weather here right through midweek. We are very windy tomorrow night as the cold front moves through, and snow showers continuing into Wednesday. I think we end up with around 4 or 5 or 6 inches of snow by the time Wednesday's over, and a whole nother inch of moisture in the bucket here in Flagstaff. And finally, second half of the week, things mellow out.
How do you think this is going to affect some of the spring break traveling at the end of the week?
I think spring break travel will be no problem because we have no storms. There is a little weak storm next weekend for eastern Arizona, but travel should be fine.
Awesome.
What a relief. I got travel plans, so I don't need weather.
You guys will be able to get out of here lickety-split.
Yeah, but speaking of travel, NAU women's basketball is up in Boise. How did they do today?
Well, I will have the details for you after the break.
Meals on Wheels gives me a chance to be totally selfless. More than the food itself, a lot of seniors don't have family. So just to have someone to talk to, just to say, hey, how was your day? That means so much more than a meal could ever mean. We have to look outside of ourselves to be that lifeline to other people. It's worth it.
every day across America. Excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Michaela Palladino. The Panthers softball team competed in the March Warm-Up tournament this weekend. They headed into the tournament undefeated, but their streak came to an end and would end up in a 2-game losing streak. The Panthers bounced back and finished the weekend 3-2. Coconino played Bradshaw earlier today, but we don't have the update of that match. Moving across town, the Flagstaff Eagles baseball team is dominating right now. They started off the season a little rocky, losing their first 2 games. Since their loss to Buckeye, the Eagles are now on a 5-game winning streak. Flagstaff will get a nice little well-deserved break and will play Prescott this Saturday at home. The Lumberjacks were in Alabama this weekend competing in the NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championship. At the end of the competition, our very own Jordy Bamish finished with gold in the men's mile run, crowning him the 2019 champion. He finished with a time of 4:07 and is the first Lumberjack to ever win the gold in the men's mile. This also marks the first time NAU has had back-to-back championships in indoor track and field. Now let's move from the field to the court. There must be something in NAU's water because both basketball teams dominated this weekend. NAU men's team headed to Colorado to take on the number 2 team, the Northern Colorado Bears. The game was back and forth and ended up going into overtime where the Jacks outscored the Bears 15-4. At the end of the game, NAU made a huge upset, winning 89-78 and giving them a huge confidence boost headed into the Big Sky tournament. Sophomore Bernie Andre had a career high of 26 points, making it his 22nd double-figure game of this season. NAU will be heading to Idaho to start tournament play on Wednesday, where they will play Sacramento State. During the regular season, the Jacks lost to Sacramento State in their first meeting of the year, but came out hungry for revenge in their second meeting to get the win. Tip-off will be at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. NAU women's basketball's regular season has officially come to an end also, and they could not have had a better finish. They finished the year on a 3-game winning streak, with their most recent upset being against Northern Colorado Bears, who were last year's Big Sky champions. This past Saturday, the Jacks stopped the Bears from securing the number 1 spot in the Big Sky and beat them 79-68. In her final home game as a Lumberjack, Paplo racked up 27 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists, and earned herself on the Big Sky 3rd team. NAU played earlier today in Boise, Idaho against Sacramento State in the first round of the Big Sky tournament, and the Lumberjacks came out on top, beating Sacramento State 74-69 and making it the women's first tournament win since 2007. Both Bailey and Rashid were the high scorers for the afternoon with 18 points each. NAU will play the number 1 team in Big Sky, Idaho tomorrow. Calais Paplo went down with an ankle injury in the second half, and we don't know for sure if she will play tomorrow. Now, speechless. That's the first word that comes to mind when I think of how this Suns team is playing. Last week, they beat LeBron and the Lakers, and also the number 1 team in the East, the Bucks. Games both I assume thought were going to be easy wins considering the Suns are one of the worst teams in the league when you look at their record. Last night, the Suns took on the dominating Golden State Warriors, and boy, did this Suns team come out hungry and ready to play Phoenix basketball. Ayton is defending at the top of the key where he drops down for the double team on Durant and bam, denies him, showing us why his presence in the key is huge. This play also resulted in Durant doing something to his ankle and didn't come back for the rest of the game. The Suns came out on top, defeating the back-to-back champions 115-111. And the Suns are hoping to keep this momentum going to their next game where they'll face the Jazz down in the Valley.
I'm happy to see the Suns are finally putting some momentum to this team and winning some games.
It's amazing. Like, they beat the best team, 2 best teams in the league, Warriors and the Bucks. Everyone thinks one of them's going to win. And we have, 16 wins on our belt, and we beat them. That's unheard of.
March Madness. Anything happens in March, right?
Anything does. It's the best month of the year.
Well, we'll have more for you after the break.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it. My support team never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew who I could become as a person. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Live with a human for a while, and you get to know a few things. Like, I know she does strange tricks for no treats. But the one thing I will never for the life of me know is how she gets so tiny and inside that box. Natalie, how do you get so tiny?
I already knew that I was going to go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science, become the mayor or something, make the situation better for other people. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
All right, more moisture in the forecast. Rain tonight, rain tomorrow, rain turning to snow tomorrow night into Wednesday. And storms clear here, going into a quiet latter half of the week and weekend.
Well, Flagstaff wasn't the only city that had some exciting news about eagles over the weekend. People watching live eagle cameras in California have some big news of their own. A pair of bald eagles nesting in Big Bear Lake, California, rather, have a new egg. The bouncing, or actually quite still, bundle of joy came on Wednesday. Biologists had spent weeks hoping for it while watching the pair display mating behavior. Now the parents will share incubation duties, and the egg should hatch into a cuddly baby raptor around April 10th. And that's not all. It's possible a second egg could come in a few days. You can watch all the action on the Nest Cam operated by Friends of Big Bear Valley. And every new bald eagle is exciting for wildlife observers, and they counted 11 of the birds living in San Bernardino National Forest last year. Unfortunately, that is down from the 15 counted in 2017.
Well, I am just so excited to see those cute babies. I'll definitely be watching the live cam as much as possible.
Eagles are just such fascinating birds. Like, they're cool to look at. They're cool
majestic.
They're majestic. They're our national symbol. They're just cool to watch do their eagly thing.
Have you ever seen one hop down and grab a fish out of the lake?
They swoop down.
So cool.
Well, actually, at my parents' house in Tucson, we had a hawk that would sit on our back porch and stalk the birds that ate out of the bird feeders for a long time. And eventually it found a new place to live, but it was there for a while just stalking those birds.
And you were luring them into his prey.
Well, my mom was the one who put out the food. Well, that'll do it for this Monday night. We appreciate you spending part of your evening with us. From all of us here at NAZ Today, thank you for watching, and good night.